Hello everyone, welcome back to session number 8 with this Cryptorchid 8-year-old stud horse. And I know it's been a little while since I uploaded. The video's kind of been getting corrupted, I think is the right word, on my hard drive. So it's taken me a while to find it, but I believe in this session we are finally going to get to changing the halter on this horse. And I believe there's just a few more sessions to go on him, and then I have a couple other new exciting videos that are in the works that should be out by next year. So you saw all of the prep work I did with him, all of the ground petting, the leading, getting him prepared to have the halter on by touching various areas of his face, and doing all of the motions of the crown piece as well as the nose piece of it. So now we're going to do the big moment. This video is going to be a little bit shorter. The ones following this do cover a little bit more in regards to his shoulder bulging issue and kind of him pulling away, working on that. But this is the first time I actually took off that leather halter. So and I try to make it as seamless as possible, and that's why I do all of that prep work before by tossing the rope over the crown piece area, making sure they're really comfortable with that, the motion, the sound of it, how close I'm going to be standing to them. And you can see he's pretty comfortable, and you can't really tell that it's his first time actually being haltered because that leather one was put on in a shoot by someone else before. But this is his first time wearing the rope halter, and hopefully this means that I'm going to be able to make some quicker corrections with him. And usually the first time that I halter them, because they don't necessarily 100% understand that leading pressure yet, the best thing to do is just stick with them as they start to walk backwards or to the side. Don't make a huge deal out of it, just kind of move with them and be pretty quiet about it until you move away, give them a chance to be without you right next to them, and then afterwards you can go up and kind of adjust it or tighten it. But I really like how softly that went. That's always my goal, is to have it be really seamless, soft, easy for the horse, them being super willing. And you can tell all of the improvement in his leading and following there. And definitely started to gain more of that trust back, because if you remember in the early on videos, he did want to be a little bit protective of himself, but I'm able to actually turn my back to him now and bend down and pick up objects. So right away, going back to yielding those hindquarters, what I'm looking for is just that crossover step, release, and then rubbing. That's kind of the go-to, I guess, kind of maneuver that I use when the horse is getting anxious, is usually rubbing them with the stick and string and teaching them that when it touches them, that's time for them to relax and kind of calm down, let their nerves down. Good, and you can tell my energy with him is still pretty low because he is doing everything I'm asking, so there's no reason for me to increase. Good, I'm moving the shoulders. And I know I've talked about all of this before in his session and in other horses' sessions, so I just wanted to mention something about energy and pressure really quick. So right here I'm just sticking with him thoroughly until he moves it, and you can see that I started to lightly increase my pressure there because he was getting a little bit dull to it. But what I was going back to saying with energy and pressure, if your horse is not responding and they're kind of just standing there being a little bit dull, that's when you may want to change the energy and pressure, up it a little bit, or maybe do a little bit of a different pattern on how you're asking. So that has to do with rhythm and all. But never, if a horse is trying to give you an answer, even if it's the wrong one, if they're just learning, never increase the pressure when a horse is trying. Okay, so like if he started moving his hindquarters around when I was asking the shoulder to move, and that was his first reaction, and he was just genuinely confused and trying to figure it out, I'm not going to bring my energy up and start yelling at him for it. I'm going to be really quiet and patient with him. Now I'm not going to release my energy until he gives me that correct maneuver, but I'm also not going to get after him for trying to figure out the answer, if that makes sense. So that's something that I found and kind of observed over time watching old videos of myself as well as some people at clinics is make sure when the horse is trying, even if it isn't the right answer they're giving quite yet, if they're trying, don't increase that pressure. So here, looking the hindquarters to yield, I'm helping out with the lead rope there and I was doing the bumping. Something else really important to remember, especially when you work in a round pen and you tend to round pen or lunge horses as part of your program, which I do, it's important that when you do something, when they join up with you, the first thing you do when you go back to doing some work isn't round penning every single time. Add some variation, do some groundwork with them, which is why after I haltered him, instead of setting him out and having him move around, I did more of the yielding the hips and moving the shoulders, kind of that body isolation and control there. But that was his first official haltering, and I know that this video is a little bit shorter, but I'm just trying to get caught up on everything, and I remember I had quite a build up to this, so I was really excited to show you guys, and I hope you stay tuned for the next video, which will be session number 9.